Welcome back, and I'm now going to be talking about a movie that sounded probably pretty amazing on paper. I'm going to be talking about MoonFall. The first initial trailer that I saw to this movie, and when I saw the cast, I was like, hey, this actually looks pretty cool, and the concept sounds pretty cool. I mean, how scary does that sound if the moon comes out of orbit and comes to attack Earth? I love a good disaster film, and keep that in mind, a good disaster film. The original Independence Day film was an event film. The film was a big deal. No one knew what to expect from this movie just because the trailers were relatively short. This movie had an ensemble cast. That movie had some great characters, not to mention characters to root for. Now, everybody that was in MoonFall, I like. It actually just felt like nobody in the movie wanted to be in the movie. Everybody in the movie felt rather disappointed and felt obligated to be there. You could actually see it on their faces, trust me. It's a good disaster film is not only when you see the disaster, of course, but when you see how it affects other people other than the main characters. However, in this film, it felt like there was only 5 people in this entire movie. There were plenty of times in the movie where something very catastrophic happens, and yet the streets are always seeming to be empty. Everything very catastrophic in this movie felt like a minor inconvenience. When we're not following these characters, we are mainly following their family members that I kind of didn't really care about. And the one character I kind of cared about in this movie wasn't really so much this guy, but it was actually his own mother. There are moments in this movie where the streets are flooded with water and our main characters just take a nap. There are plenty of dramatic moments in this movie that have nothing to do with the events that are taking place. I felt those scenes could have been cut out, and you could have inserted scenes from the movie Daylight with Sylvester Stallone because I felt that would have been a lot more fitting and a lot more entertaining. Remember I said no one seemed to care in this movie? Well, it also seemed like the writing team didn't care about this movie. To me, I would have been like, hey, the moon, gravitational stuff, the world is kind of shifting around, everything is messing up because everything seems to be connected to the moon. I would have thought, hey, that's enough for a movie. That's plenty. But the movie was like, nah, man. F you and F the audience too. To find out that the moon is basically a Death Star, which sounds kind of cool when you think about it, but it's not executed that way. They were like, hey Patrick, remember that movie where your wife can talk to spirits? Because, well, now you're going to be talking to celestial beings. And by that time, we the audience are like this. I'm giving MoonFall a D. So if no one wanted to be in this movie, then you shouldn't waste your money going to see it. I'm Mike the Movie Misfit, and I'll see you at the movies.